pull something up here real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Here we go. Here's the beginning. The Falcons have now lost games in which they had a 99.9% chance to win and a 99.1% chance to win, respectively. That is the first time this the percentage of that happening is roughly 1 in 990,000. Welcome to this award-winning podcast on and off the field with Durf and Dylan as we get ready to recap week 3 of the NFL action where you're right, folks. B.D.N is back. Big Dong Nick. Oh, man. What a showing. I can't wait to get to that game because I just have so many positive things to say about that human being. But first, how are you? Let's give people a taste of us. How you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty well. Got a lot of things going on, but things are going well, so can't complain. How about you?
Can't complain. You know, I was a little upset when I found out it was only Tuesday. It's kind of been a rough 2 days already, but it seems like every week is becoming this. I come around to Tuesday, I'm like, oh my God, it's only Tuesday. But then we get to Thursday, it's like, yay, it's Thursday. These first couple of days just kill me every week. But I guess that's why they're called Mondays.
Yep.
Monday and second Monday, third Monday, fourth Monday, and then Friday. But at least I have this podcast to lean on for mental support. I appreciate you being here. We're also going to have someone else on the show. We're going to have Logan Landers from, I think it's the 100 Yards of Football radio, something like that. I think I got it right. Nice. He'll be on to recap week 3 with us. Great little radio show network they got over there, really big. They have a lot of great guests on that, so we're happy to have him on. But yeah, since you're here, make sure everyone throws a like on this video. Make sure you get a follow in there, a subscribe, a share. Where do you subscribe? Where do you share? I don't know, but Durf does.
Yeah, I do. You can follow, like, and share on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we are live on currently. Make sure to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts so that we know how we're doing and what you like or dislike about the show. And you can find all of these links at onandoffthefield.com along with our fundraising efforts, our merchandise, and to learn more about Dylan, myself, and this award-winning show.
And speaking of iTunes, we got some more reviews.
Yes.
Let's read them off, Bubby. Let's read off some reviews. One of them was a 4-star. Let me warn you. So we have a 3, a 4, and I think 14 5s. It's not bad. We're doing good for this award-winning podcast.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'll take it. So this one is from FMob Pod. Don't know who that is. Very informative sports podcast. I like what these guys do. A light and breezy update on various news events and sports. Easy listening. These guys are pros. Boom. Yeah. But he's the one who gave us 4 stars. I guess we're too easy to listen to. I don't know.
Guess we're not pro enough. I don't know.
Not pro enough. And then from Gabe, on and off the field. I love this podcast. 5 stars. Thank you, Gabe.
Nice.
Whenever I hear Gabe, all I can think of is The Office. Skeleton Man. Bear down, says Brandon. I can't wait to get to that. B.D.N is going to get a lot of love from me because, man, he showed up. And they're 3-0. I don't know how. But that's our opening. That's where we do everything. There's our reviews. Make sure you follow our group page, OOTF Family. OOTF Gaming is dead as of right now. We're working on it. It's probably going to be a while, so I should probably just stop bringing it up, maybe. I should probably just stop talking about it until it's actually ready to go. Durf, you're actually leading the league 3-0 for fantasy football.
Yeah, for now.
Boy, oh boy. Who do you have? Who's showing up for your squad?
Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, Yeah, he actually lost me a game last night.
Ooh, Adam Thielen and Calvin Ridley.
Calvin. Yeah.
Tyler Higbee.
Oh, boy. 3 touchdown performance.
And then a couple other random guys, but then Mason Crosby for kicker and Baltimore's defense.
Man, that's killer. It's a great squad.
Yeah.
Got lucky. Calvin Ridley especially.
Yeah.
11-5 this year for the Bears, says Brandon. Boy, oh boy. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Holy crap. All right, let's move into our first segment here. You know it. You love it. There'll be a theme song for it eventually, but right now, it's just the other sports. Doc Rivers got fired.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
He gone.
It's kind of a big deal. I don't know. I feel like you kind of had to expect this. You know?
Yeah.
To get embarrassed by the Denver Nuggets like that, up 3-1, you have playoff P. You got the reigning, I think, the defensive MVP. Did he actually get MVP too at one point, or was it just defensive MVP? No matter what, they have a great squad, but they've reached their limit. And apparently somebody thought it's not the players' fault. They have all this talent, but they can't get past this hurdle that is the playoffs. And apparently they thought it was Doc Rivers' fault and not the players. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been there 7 years, so not getting it done. About time to go.
And they've had superstar after superstar come through that team, and it's just not panning out. So Doc Rivers is getting the axe. It's his fault. 7 years. We'll see who they bring in, because it just happened today. Or was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, so no word on who the replacement is yet. Brandon Combs still on the Bears. Called in preseason. Nick Foles takes over by week 3. And they make a run. Well, it was week 3, and Nick is in. I mean, that's not too bold of a take. Mitch Trubisky getting benched by week 3. That's not. It's a medium take.
Yeah, if
even that. But it did pan out for you because B.D.N is in. Oh, Fred.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it.
That's okay.
Yeah, the Heat beat the Celtics in Game 6. It was such a close game.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my phone and I looked up and it was like 115 to 102. I was like, what just happened? Like, I thought it was like a 2-point lead. And
yeah, Celtics just they just fell flat at the end there and just could not get anything going. So, I mean, who knows? They knew they got to the point where they knew they weren't going to win. So that's okay. As always next year.
they just kind of quit. They're like, I'm tired. I want to go home. I'm done. Yeah, it's a Game 6, so that means the NBA Finals are set because the Lakers already put down the Nuggets. They put them out of their misery. Game 1 on Wednesday, Heat versus the Lakers. I don't watch too much ESPN, but isn't this a big deal? Like LeBron going against one of his former teams where he was with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and they won championship. Like, isn't that like a big deal? But I feel like no one's talked about that. But maybe it's not as big a deal as I thought. I don't know.
I mean, I haven't heard the headline with LeBron playing a former team that he had won a championship with. The big one that I've seen is that this is now the 6th decade that Pat Riley has been a part of the Heat or been in the NBA, involved with the NBA and in the finals.
Wow.
From being a player to a coach, any kind of a coach, to a president of the Heat and being the coach for the Heat, and then now just being the Heat president.
You said 6 decades?
Yeah, so 60 years.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I did not hear that one. That dude's old as dirt.
Right?
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
And all with the Heat, too, for the most part, right? I mean, he coached the Heat. I don't know who he played for, but that's... I
want to say Lakers.
Oh, well, that's even more fun. He's playing with former teams. I feel like it's an ignored headline. That's one I made up. LeBron going against a former team that he won a championship with. But I guess it's not that big a deal. Brandon says they're just playing for the East. Nobody is beating the Lakers. Lakers in 4 or 5. Yeah, I guess that's the next question. Who you got?
I'm taking the Lakers. I think the Lakers are just going to get it done.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear this, but I feel like LeBron's has got a Kobe / Michael Jordan mentality right now.
Yeah,
he was doubted all year. They had their ups and downs on offense. People said they would never make it to this point. Anthony Davis wasn't living up to his potential, and he's sick of hearing about it. And the Heat, a lot of talent. They have a lot of pieces. The issue with the Heat is who you're going to guard. Because one night it'll be Tyler Hero, the other night it'll be Duncan Robinson, and then Jimmy Buckets will have a good game.
Yep.
Then you got Bam Adebayo. He's going to have he puts up 20-point double-doubles, triple-doubles almost every game. Anyone could go off for that team. Who are you going to guard? Anthony Davis will probably be on Bam if I had to guess. But I don't know. It'll be close. I don't think it'll be 4 or 5. I'd like to see 6. I'd say Lakers and 6. I think the Heat put up a fight.
I don't think it's a clean sweep by the Lakers. I think definitely the Heat make it interesting for sure.
Yeah, I say at least one of those players on the Heat in one of those games has one of those they can't miss kind of games like Tyler Hero had. They just start going off for some reason. Right. And they'll steal a game there, steal a game here, and then Lakers already won 4. We're done. So I say 6 for the Lakers. As one finals gets ready to go, one just ended. The Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup after beating Dallas Stars in Game 6 2-0. They got their second Stanley Cup. The last one was in 2006.
Maybe.
I think it was 2006.
I didn't look that up.
I saw and cue the music of something I think I saw, and that might be right or wrong. I think I saw that it was 2006. But yeah, they won. Nobody's really surprised. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. They pulled it off.
The playoffs started. I found they're doing best of 3 wild card series. For some reason, I did not know that was happening.
Yeah.
So, home park for the higher seed kickoff today. Yeah, and I think the White Sox already won, and the Astros already won, both winning 4-1. And then the Blue Jays are playing somebody else right now. Let's get a confirmation on this.
Blue Jays, they're seated up against the Tampa Bay Rays right now.
Yeah, that's who it is.
I don't know if they're playing. I think they might be playing right now.
Yeah, the Rays are up 1-0 on the Blue Jays, top of the 7th. The Yankees are up 2-0, top of the 1st on the Indians. So that's looking bad for the Indians. Astros beat the Twins 4-1. The White Sox beat the Athletics 4-1. So yeah,
there you go.
There's today's games. Your matchups are as stated. Tampa Bay is playing the Blue Jays, Oakland against Chicago, Houston against the Twins, Indians against the Yankees. And then tomorrow is the NL. The Dodgers will be up against the Brewers, that should be pretty good. The Braves against the Reds. The Cubs versus the Marlins, who are a 3 seed. What the heck? Or the Marlins?
Marlins are a 6 seed.
Oh my God, that scared me. And then the Padres are playing the Cardinals. Hoo-wee!
Yeah.
I was going to say the Marlins is a 3 seed. That would have been. Didn't hear about that. What do you mean the Orioles aren't in the playoffs? I thought they were going on a stretch. I thought they made it.
No.
That's why it's called other news, because I don't know what's going on. Who do you got winning it all? Who's your picks for Major League Baseball? Because I don't know who I'm picking. I honestly have no idea.
I mean, I feel like it's the Dodgers. I'm thinking Dodgers from the AL. I don't really know from the AL, but I think Dodgers have a good chance of taking it.
I say the Mariners just randomly show up because they want to play, and then they take it. That's what I'm saying. They just
show up in Game 7 of the World Series and no, we're playing this game. You guys go sit down.
Yeah, we got this.
If we win, we take the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like the Dodgers win the World Series, but then the Mariners show up and they're like, we're the final boss. You thought you beat the game, but it's there's one more fight. It's like, it's the Mariners. No. I don't know. I'll just go with the 1 seeds. Dodgers versus the Rays. Let's do it. That's because I just don't know what's going on. But that's other sports. We got our picks. We got Lakers and Dodgers, I think, are our final picks as the other sports is rounding out. And then it'll be all NFL, baby.
Yeah.
Well, there's also tennis going on. I think the Tour de France is wrapping up too, but I can't really confirm that. Confirm nor deny. So we're going to move on to NFL. I can't. Did you get those updates from like ESPN at around like 6:00 every night? There's this random update like this guy won the leg of the Tour de France. Like I don't care.
Can't say I got any of those.
You didn't get. I don't need an update on who won that leg of the Tour de France. ESPN. I really don't need that in my life. I just cycling is just so weird because you know how a lot of people are on the side of. I think everyone in sports should be doping. Like it was like the steroid era of baseball kind of brought that up. You know, There's a lot of people doping, but then there's people not. But it wasn't against the rules, so why isn't everyone doping? You know, instead of making doping illegal, just make it legal for everyone, and then everyone can be on steroids, and it'll be like people killing each other on a football field every single week. That's what they do in cycling. Yeah, you know, if you get caught, you get caught, but everyone is doping. And this was from an interview with Lance Armstrong. It's just a matter of you're doping better than that team is. Like that's literally what cycling is. Are you doping better than the opposite team? That's what they do. It's asinine.
Yeah.
And I am not in favor. I'm not in favor of that style of play. I don't want everyone doping. I want it to be like level playing field. Let's just see what your body can do, you as a person, without enhancements. So that's why I really don't care about cycling. NFL news. I went off on a tangent there. That was uncalled for. There was room for a tangent, though, because there's not really a whole lot of NFL news.
There's not.
Yeah, we just got this one piece here. COVID-19 outbreak, the first one of the NFL season. How much damage will it do? I don't think a lot, but here we go. The Tennessee Titans organization. 3 players and 5 personnel tested positive, so they shut down their facilities this morning, at least until Saturday morning. The NFL notified the Vikings to shut down operations since they just got done playing.
Mm-hmm.
So the Titans are scheduled to play the Steelers on Sunday. They're still planning to play that game, but they've said, it could be moved to Monday or Tuesday, just in case. And then they haven't really said anything about the Vikings or Texans yet because I don't think they've done any testing to confirm if anyone from the Vikings organization has a positive test as a result of that playing that game.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Titans and Steelers possibly going to move. Vikings and Texans were waiting, but this is really the first. We just got done having A.J. Terrell not be able to play for the Falcons because he was the first NFL player that wasn't allowed to play due to COVID. Mm-hmm. And now this. It's spreading. It's happening.
Yep.
It was first just a player. Now it's 8 people. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for.
Fix it. Yep.
Yeah. What are you going to do at this point? I want to know what happened to these 8 players. I want to know where they went. I want to know how this came about. That's what I want to know.
I mean, I don't know about the personnel, but I know they did announce the players that were that tested positive not too long, like a little before the show. So it was a defensive tackle. I can't remember his name. So I know someone that I probably don't hear about all the time. There was a long snapper and then a practice squad tight end. So it's not like it's one position group that got infected that's testing positive. So it's kind of all over the place. So, I mean, those players probably interact with a lot of different people. I know the NFL's getting right to work on doing the tracing and making sure to figure out who's in contact with who, which leads to why the Vikings will shut down today as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the Vikings end up having to do. If anyone tests positive there, can we have possibly 2 games not get played this weekend? I did look at the schedule to see how their bye weeks line up to see if it's possible to play later in the season. Unless the NFL schedulers have some kind of magic to work, I don't see it. The Tennessee Titans and the Vikings have a week 7 bye, whereas the Steelers and the Texans have a week 8 bye. So there's not an overlap for them to be able to just take their bye week out and play that week. So hopefully they'll be able to get done this weekend, but who knows? We could have Tuesday Night Football.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Tuesday Night Football. Bring it on. Bring on Wednesday Night Football. Just spread them all out. I don't care. Yeah. Just do it. See if I care. Just play 2 Monday night games, too. They already did it once this year. I had to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch it, but I'm probably not staying up till 2 a.m. to watch the Vikings and the Texans, though.
I feel like they would do it earlier, though, but I think that they would do it before the actual Monday night time. So, like a 5 o'clock kickoff. It would be weird. That way they don't have...
Their ratings would be awful, though, because people aren't home from work.
Yeah, but it's just the Titans and Steelers.
I would watch Titans and Steelers.
I feel like it's going to be a good game, but I don't know.
We'll talk about that on Thursday because that's our preview show. But that's it for NFL news. So we're going to get into the thick of it with our main segment real quick before we bring in our guest for the show to do this with us. I went 9-6-1 on my predictions, and Durf went 10-5-1. So here's your updated standings. I still got Fred by 2 right now. And then see those ones right there? See those ones? It's an old mantra of the show.
Yep.
Get rid of ties. Why is this still a thing? Why are we doing this? Make it stop. There's absolutely no reason. 100 years of NFL action, we still have ties. Stop it. Just stop it. God. And I heard people say the reason that they do ties is because, they have to stick to their scheduling, their TV scheduling. How about you just do what they do in college? Put them on the freaking 20-yard line and tell them to get in the end zone or kick a field goal.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life? It's infuriating. It really just ties will be one of the top 3 things that get me infuriated on this show. And if you're a fan of the show and you watch it for a long time, you know that to be true. All right, I had to change the background because I don't have a 3-person background. So we're going to be doing a Week 3 NFL recap with Logan Landers. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
I'm doing
good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Hey, can't complain, man. We got a little bit of rain here. I'm out of Georgia, so we just had a bunch of rain the last couple of days, but got some sports going on, so I can't complain too much.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't need to go outside when it's raining. When there's sports inside, outside sucks. It's overrated.
Exactly, man. Who needs it?
Especially in Georgia, it's got to be hot there. We're in New York, so
yeah.
It's cold and rainy.
Yeah. It's real humid here. That's the thing. It does get hot, but it's the humidity that kills us, especially in the summer. But it's starting to cool down now. We're finally getting some fall weather, so I'm all for it. Trust me.
The leaves are a changing. Yeah. This is my favorite time of year. So we're bringing first off and foremost. I think I got your show, the radio show there. The 100 yards of football. Is that right?
Yeah, man. 100 yards of football. Sports Talk Radio. We're all over Facebook and YouTube. We just launched our podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple. We launched our first episode today, so pretty big news coming out of there. We did a preview for the upcoming Georgia and Auburn game that's happening this weekend. So looking forward to that.
Nice.
Ooh, that's something we never talk about on this show. We should probably, college football is a hardcore weakness for this show.
Yeah. Hey, look, man, I don't blame you. Going into this year before I got on the show, I didn't know too much about college football, but being in it for 9-10 months now, it's really kind of thrown me right into the thick of things. I had to learn real quick who some of these guys were, but it's been fun, man. And especially in the South too, that it's huge here, especially SEC. So it's been good. But we talk NFL too. We talk about some high school coaches as well. So it's a good show. Everyone should definitely go check it out. And if you want to see some more of my pretty decent looking face, I would totally recommend it.
Hey, you if you grow a beard, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between you and Durf. Wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So let's just jump into it then. Thursday night game. Dolphins just kind of blew up the Jaguars. Everything that they had going for them, everything Gardner Minshew had going for him, people picking them off the waiver wire for their fantasy teams. Gardner Minshew is the next greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, he's already been the greatest thing. His mustache is great, but with beards over mustaches, this one Fitzmagic was in full power. James Robinson had a good day, but overall, Minshew was just DJ Clark was really I feel like was the piece here because with him out, Minshew looked virtually helpless in that backfield.
Yeah, Minshew Mania was not running wild like it has been on Thursday night. Fitzpatrick, it's weird, man. I don't know really what to think of him. He can be very consistent, and then some weeks he looks like he's hardly ever thrown a football before. But he did good, man. He threw 18 of 20 with 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, hey, what more can you ask for out of him?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the beard. I mean, normally you'd like to say he's Mr. September. He's always there those first 4 or 5 weeks to carry the Dolphins until his replacement eventually comes in. You know, whoever that may be, Josh Rosen, Tua, whoever it used to be at least. But it didn't show against the Patriots, which made me look like a fool because I picked the Dolphins to win that game because I trusted Fitzmagic. Failure, unfortunately. But, yeah, Fred, I mean, did you watch this one?
Actually, I did because I made a last-minute decision to change streaming services and do a little test run here. So I was able to get NFL Network and jump on it and started watching it, and I was like, what did I just do?
Like, wait, why am I here?
Right? Oh,
I made the conscious effort to turn this football game on for some reason. Yeah. I felt like that right off the bat, and then it just got fun because that's what Ryan Fitzpatrick does for me.
Yep.
He's a fun guy. He's over here catching his own passes. He's 36-year-old running into the end zone, bowling people over. He's just a fun guy. He makes his team energetic. I just wish he was a little bit better and more consistent throwing the football, but I feel like that's what Minshew normally does for his team, but he didn't look like he was having fun on Thursday, unfortunately.
No, he definitely had a rough day. But let's talk about a little bit about the positives for the Jaguars. Miles Jack had 11 tackles, so I knew coming into this league he would be pretty solid. But he's been living up to the hype so far, and we all know what's happened with the Jaguars in the offseason, how they've lost about, I think it was everyone from their 2017 team that got to the championship, the AFC Championship, if I'm not mistaken. They've had a lot of turnover for sure, but hopefully they surprised a couple people. You know, they're 1-2 at the moment, so anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely. And an impressive 1-2, I'd say, because they were just a field goal away from beating the Titans too for their other loss. This was kind of an embarrassing one, but still. And yeah, I think Miles Jack is the only person left from the AFC Championship game, unless he came in the year after.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but I just know a good majority of their team, especially their defense, is long gone.
Yeah, and it's I see Fred thinking up there.
Well, I'm trying to think of Miles Jack came in the same year that the player for the Cowboys, I believe. I'm trying to think of what his name is now, but I'm blanking on it.
Yeah.
They were both, they were both like hurt. Or maybe the Cowboys guy was hurt. I don't know.
Because Miles Jack is the one who took that season off too, if I'm not mistaken, just because he didn't want to play or as an injury, whatever the case may be. And then he came back for this. He came back for whatever they put on the field this year. He took the wrong year off, I'll tell you that. So the Dolphins take that 31-13. Here we go. This is
yeah.
Don't smile too much over there.
All right.
Because you know your Bills did a pretty bad job over there. 35-32. The Bills do beat the Rams. Infamous 28-3 lead over the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Rams started clicking because the Rams did not look like the Rams early on. But then the third quarter happened. And every single Bills sports talker in our area said the same exact thing. The Bills come out slow in the third quarter, and the Rams came out fast. So this is when people said there might be a shift in momentum, and it was the third quarter. And the Rams actually did take the lead, but then the Bills take it down the field, get a very generous pass interference call.
Oh, come on.
To keep their dreams alive. And then he throws a game-winning touchdown to beat the Rams. Josh Allen does, who has, I think, 4 touchdowns on the day.
Yep, 4 touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive from Josh Allen for this season. And that's a quality win, in my opinion. Other people are saying it's not a quality win. They're up 28-3. They had a drought there, but quality win, I'm all in on the Bills.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to say this, being from Georgia, I'm tired of the 28-3s, and we'll get to the Falcons game a little bit later on. But I will say this: the Bills have done something the Falcons couldn't. They've closed out a game, and I was watching the Falcons game, and I saw the ticker come up about this one. And I'm like, oh, finally, maybe we'll take the back seat to this just for a little bit. But then I saw they got the win in the end with Allen really having kind of a showing out party, in my opinion. He threw for over 300 yards, and those 4 touchdowns are nothing to laugh about. He did a really good game.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, that's the third game with multiple touchdowns, over 300 yards passing. I think he's looking at right now. He's looking at 10 touchdowns, passing, 2 rushing. I think right now, second in the league right now for passing yards behind Dak Prescott. So I mean, he's a third-year growth here, man. I love it.
And don't worry, Josh Allen will take the passing yardage leader back when they play the Seahawks, because that's the only reason Dak is in first right now is because he got to play the Seahawks defense. Because he threw for like 800 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah,
but it was a good all around day, I think, entirely for the Bills. And I like I've already said it in past weeks, the Rams have figured it out. They're kind of back. They've got their identity back. They got their ground game going. Yep. They were still short a running back. They normally have their 3 guys going in and out, but Cam Akers was out. And they found their groove, and this is what the Rams are. So it's a quality win. We'll see what happens when the Bills exit September, because the Bills have strong Septembers. We'll see what happens down the road. I think they're one of the more complete teams in the league, right behind the Chiefs, I think.
Yeah.
Can't knock that, yeah. Really good observation for sure. The Bills I think they're going to surprise some more people this year. A lot of people always sleep on the Bills because, they're in that. They're in the stacked division where the Patriots dominated for 20 years and all that. So we'll see.
Definitely.
Very exciting stuff. And then, I guess we said enough for the Rams too. They played well. So they did their best, but they're 2-1. The Cardinals are 2-1. 49ers are 2-1. 3-0, baby. The Bears. Boy, oh boy. What was this one? 26-10, I think, was the largest lead they had. 26-10, the Falcons had the Bears, and then Matt Nagy finally had enough. Matt Nagy said, Mitch Trubisky, you're trash. I finally see it now. I have seen the light. Everyone's been telling me this. I have not been listening. I finally listened, so he put Nick Foles in there. B.D.N. comes in. And, man, he played lights out. I mean, this guy took over this game. You can say as much as you want about the Falcons, how their offense stopped working, whatever. Their defense has been bad for a while now. I mean, I'll let you defend as much as your Falcons as you want. But right, as far as what I can see, their defense isn't that great. The offense just cuts out as soon as around the fourth quarter starts. But Nick Foles, they have Jimmy Graham in Chicago. All right, Jimmy Graham's career was over. He was in Seattle. He did nothing. He was back with, I think, the Packers. He did nothing. And then he goes out to Chicago. He's doing nothing with Mitch Trubisky. Nick Foles gets in there. Jimmy Graham's now like a top tight end in fantasy football right now. He caught a touchdown. He was over 60 yards. He had a couple of 5-6 catches. And then Allen Robinson's out here making diving game-winning touchdown passes. This offense looked like a football team. Granted, they're 3-0. Don't sleep on the Bears. Are 3-0. Nick Foles made it actually look like a real football team. Very impressive. But the Falcons, just another collapse. I read the stat at the beginning, them losing both of these games back to back like this. These upsets, these comebacks from Dallas and the Bears. 1 in 990,000 chances that would happen. So if you want to give your Falcons some love or just something, God bless you, go for it.
Love, I'll give him some tough love.
Oh, here we go.
I will say Matt Ryan is the only shining star that we have on the team. He's been consistent ever since he came in the league, one of the top quarterbacks, I think, ever since he's broke out. I know he had that pick at the end, but that shouldn't have been, the game-winning or, game-losing decision, in my opinion. Like you were saying, Mitch Trubisky just he hasn't lived up to the hype. What more can you say? And Nick Foles went in there, did his job, called off the bench and just ripped the Atlanta defense apart. I'm looking here, and like y'all said, the Falcons defense is horrible. They have allowed 36 points per game, and they've allowed 1,390 yards, which is the most in the NFL throughout these 3 weeks. So they definitely need to do something. I don't know if they need to just get rid of Dan Quinn, which everyone here is calling for his head to roll. Especially they've been saying that since the Super Bowl, but why they didn't get rid of him after that, I have no idea. I would personally not have kept him around. But it looks like we're gonna have to endure another losing season. Now I'm ready for the number 1 pick. That's what I'm hoping for. There's no way we're getting past the. We're not getting past the Saints or the Buccaneers or anyone else. We're just sitting at the bottom. So that's all I'm gonna have to say. I'm done with this team already. Calvin Ridley, I will say, watch out for him. He's going to be good for a while to come. Had over 110 yards on the day, so he's going to be good. Didn't have Julio either, so that didn't help at all. But yeah, so Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan, and of course Julio when he's healthy. Those are about the only good things we have on the team. Other than that, props to the Bears. You beat the Falcons.
and in comeback fashion, nonetheless. Real quick, my mother coming in. Eagles should have kept Foles. Everyone told the Eagles that, but they didn't listen. And then TJ, what's up, bro? Welcome to the show. Welcome back. Love you, man. Fred, closing thoughts on the Falcons Bears.
I mean, I didn't get to watch much of this game. I kind of saw the little bit of the ending there once the Bills game was over. I don't see this lasting for the Bears. And I don't see any silver lining for the Falcons just quite yet, especially when we talk about on Thursday with their upcoming game. But the Falcons have something, and it's just not working. It's something that's broke, but they have something.
Yeah, what's broke is Dan Quinn. I know you already brought it up, but I got to get my piece in on Dan Quinn. I wouldn't have fired him after you're just in Super Bowl. Obviously, it's an embarrassing loss, and everyone's like mad at the head coach when that happens. Kyle Shanahan got shipped off because he was doing the play calling. A lot of things could have happened right there. But after these 2 games, after a season of failure the year before and now this, I don't know how he still has a job right now. After a second comeback loss like this, and it's not even the fact that you're jumping to conclusions that it's the head coach. They've gotten rid of Kyle Shanahan. They've gotten rid of like 2 defensive coordinators. They've fired every assistant and play caller and coordinator that they have on. Everyone's been fired on that team at some point or another, except Dan Quinn, except the head coach. How he's getting away with it, I don't know, but he needs to be gone immediately. I don't know how he's still there. I have no idea.
Yeah. There must be something in the water keeping him alive because everyone's wanting him to get out of here. And like you said, they got rid of everyone else except for him. And now you can see, all these years later that it's not their fault. That it's like the team gives up after halftime. It's like, all right, we have a lead. We can just, take the night off, guys. And
yeah, what's that halftime speech like? Yeah.
Yeah. Good
all right, guys, we scored 30 points. We're good.
Yeah, it's like they just stopped caring. It's like they don't have any drive after they come out after halftime. They get a lead and they don't, step on the gas pedal. They're just comfortable, and then that's not what you need to, be successful. And their record indicates that.
Dan Quinn is the Joe Buck of head coaches. We're gonna pin that one up on the wall.
Yeah,
that's an all time. How do you pin comments? Because that's what I kind of want to do. I'll figure it out at some point. That's one you pin right there. So we'll move on from some sadness. I guess this one's a little sad still because I picked the Washington football team for this upset, and I feel like they almost had it. They could have had it, but Dwayne Haskins sucks eggs. He threw 3 interceptions. He lost a fumble. Someone else lost a fumble. They had 5 turnovers on the day. So the Browns had the ball pretty much all day, and the rushing game was just rolling again. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt over 100 yards. Nick Chubb 2 touchdowns. I mean, the Browns look good. And I had one friend who's a fan of the Browns. He said, "This is a quality win. We beat a top 10 defense. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, rolling." It's the Washington football team. Let's take a step back. Top 10 defense through 2 weeks. Bring it down a notch. The Browns still get the win, but I said it against the Bengals. They kind of had a momentum. They found their offense a little bit. They found their run game. They looked good, and people said I was crazy. It was the Bengals. Well, now they got momentum. The running game is working. Let's see if they can pull this off against a quality team. I don't know what the next quality team they play is, but at least they have some momentum moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see, because the football team, as we all know and love, their offense just needs to get to work, in my opinion, because they are third lowest in the league in terms of average per game. They only have 288 yards. The only teams below them, the Giants and the Jets, who are chilling at the bottom at the cellar there, hoping to get out. But yeah, Dwayne Haskins, I'm not sure how to feel about him. I don't see star written over him, but I do think he will improve. I mean, he's still young. He's got time to improve. Don't worry about that. But yeah, he did not look. He looked like a rookie in this game, and that's basically what he is. He didn't play much last year. And, for the Browns, Nick Chubb, I've always, like I said, he came out of Georgia, so I've seen a bunch of his play, and I'm glad he's starting to kind of break out as one of the top tier running backs in the league.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried about Kareem Hunt taking yardage away from him. I think Nick Chubb will still find his yardage, and Kevin Stefanski would be an idiot to not give him his touches. Fred?
I mean, I'm just glad I picked the Browns last week.
Yeah.
I called it when I said the rushing game is going to be what's going to put them over the Washington. And I mean, I didn't get to see much of this game, any of this game at all, but just to kind of see what they were saying about it. And yeah, I mean, let the Browns offense just keep gelling here. Let them find their thing and just keep going.
Yeah, and Chase Young went out kind of early with a groin injury too, so I don't know how much of an impact that had, but maybe a touch. Dwayne Haskins still threw this game away, so Browns get the win. I suck. I tried to go with the upset. The Titans beat the Vikings. This is the first time that the Vikings really kind of showed up on offense this season, and they were rolling. Justin Jefferson, total of 175 receiving yards for the young rookie. Finally got going against Malcolm Butler. Yeah, suck on that egg, Malcolm Butler. In a game, but the defense, they couldn't stop Derrick Henry. I hate it because my prediction is going down the drain here that Derrick Henry would go back to bust status. Kicking game, Gostkowski had a huge day. He had like 25 fantasy points to give the Titans the win. And the Vikings are 0-3, so I don't know what you really want at that point from the Vikings. They're 0-3. Their defense sucks. Their offense is hit and miss at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely a kind of a different year for the Vikings, being 0-3 now after getting into the playoffs last year. Like you said, Gostkowski, he basically won them this game. He was 6-6 for field goals. So I know all the fantasy owners out there are very proud about that, and hopefully y'all can get him. But yeah, the Titans, Tannehill had a pretty solid game. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but he threw for 321 yards. And like you said, I know you were saying that Henry might have been reduced back to bust status, but King Henry showed up and got 2 touchdowns and almost 120 yards. So I think he's kind of molded himself into the league, and he's going to be good for a long time to come.
Yeah, it's upsetting. Like I thought, like the first 2 weeks he only hit 100 yards because I gave him 1 million carries. So I'm like, yeah, see, they're just feeding him, but he's not really getting the yards per carry as much. They're just giving him the ball 30 times a game. Yeah, this game, yeah. But I kind of said this in our Thursday episode last week. It's the Vikings. Their defense is pretty bad. If he's gonna have a good game, it'll be this one, and he did. So I have to wait to see who they play next week. Oh, they play the Steelers. Let's see if Derrick Henry can bowl over that Steelers defensive line, then I'll just officially come on the show and be like, I was wrong. But so I'll give him one more week.
I just want to know how Tannehill throw for over 300 yards and not a single touchdown. How does that not
efficiency is bad?
Does that not work?
Bad red zone efficiency.
Oh man,
that's all that is.
All right.
Dalvin Cook had a good game too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the stat there. Here we go. Cue the music. Something I think I saw or heard, but I'm not entirely sure. That's a segment for the show. I kind of think I saw something, but didn't write it down, so I'm just kind of guessing what I think I saw. Yeah, the Vikings have either they have 6 to 8 offensive touchdowns, and all of those touchdowns belong to Adam Thielen or Dalvin Cook. That's it.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it works with me, man.
That's their offensive production. That's it. Which is probably why they're 0-3.
Right.
Justin Jefferson looks like he got going, so maybe they can finally have a second option on this offense, or a third option, I guess, besides Thielen and Cook. We'll see, though. This is another one I was wrong on. The Patriots and the Raiders. I took the Raiders. I liked what I was seeing. I was slightly starting to buy into the Raiders. I was right there. If they would have won this game, I would have been all in on the Raiders. They got destroyed. The 36-20 is a closer score than what it really was, because they kind of got a garbage time touchdown in there with Hunter Renfrow. The Patriots took out Darren Waller, and that was it. The game was over once Darren Waller was gone. So, the big point here, I guess, is the Patriots are just they're a completely different team, and they're a run-first team. Cam Newton running the ball. Rex Burkhead looked amazing. They didn't even have Sony Michel, and this team just looked pretty much unstoppable on the ground somehow. So it's a completely different team now.
Yeah, this one did kind of suck for me because, you guys can see here I have my Derek Carr Pop Funko. So they are near and dear to my hearts. I go into every week thinking, they're going to get this win, but against the Patriots, you can never say that. It's going to be a tough matchup, regardless of who's quarterback now. I'm happy for Cam Newton, though. He's finally bounced back. 17-28, 162 yards and a touchdown on the day. And Carr didn't do too bad either. He threw for 261 and 2 touchdowns. So he's been having a solid year. But to me, what really kind of hurt them is Josh Jacobs wasn't able to get much doing on the ground. He only ran for 71 yards on 16 carries and no touchdowns. So that really hurt him. They need him to get at least around 100 yards a game to be, kind of help out the offense some. Hunter Renfrow also had 84 yards and a touchdown. I like his game. And it also hurts that, they didn't have their top pick with Henry Ruggs. He was out for the game. So that hurt them as well with his speed. And, defenders know that he's going to be a threat for a while to come, hopefully. That really just kind of threw their game up. And like you said, with Waller being out as well, that also hurt them. Their defense still needs to kind of figure out their niche, I would say. They still haven't figured out their identity. And hopefully they can get it figured out, but that's always been kind of their Achilles heel for the last couple of years, is their defense has always just been kind of subpar. So hopefully they can get it turned around and get back to the playoffs. But yeah, if I had a hats off to the Patriots for getting a win.
I'm not happy that I got this pick right last week, because the more the Patriots get rolling and the more they get comfortable with these wins, just makes me nervous for the season. I still think the Bills can at least take one away from the Patriots, and I think the Bills get the division still. But Patriots getting this confidence, Cam Newton getting comfortable with Bill Belichick's system, they're making the adjustments, they're working on the run game, everything is kind of clicking for Newton. Yeah, good for the Patriots. I guess it's good for football, but yeah.
Is it good for football?
I was hoping I was going to get this one wrong.
Is it really good for football if the Patriots keep winning? I don't think anybody wants
Probably
that.
Not.
Imagine a world where the Patriots get back to the Super Bowl this year when everyone wrote them off as like a 7-9 team.
No.
It'll be talked about for the entire offseason next year if that happens.
Oh, Lord, you know it. There would be nothing to escape Patriots fans. They'd be knocking on your door. Did you know the Patriots won the Super Bowl? Leaving flyers.
Oh,
God. But yeah, they get the win. we'll see what happens down there. They're definitely picking up some momentum. I can't wait till that first Bills-Patriots game. That's going to be
a good one.
It's going to be sexy. This is just stupid. The 49ers beat the Giants 36-9. Fred wrote this down. The 49ers are held together with bubble gum and duct tape right now, but they still beat the Giants, and they don't without Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Even if they had Saquon Barkley, I still don't think they would have scored more than 9 points. You said a little bit earlier, Giants and Jets, bottom of the barrel. I mean, it's the battle of New York for who's getting the first overall pick. Those guys suck. I don't know what you even want to say here. I mean, it's the 49ers are playing their backups, and it was 36-9. It's embarrassing.
It is.
Yeah, definitely a low life for the Giants this year. I will say positive on the day is Daniel Jones led the entire day with 49 rushing yards. That's about the only category they beat the 49ers in that day. Danny Dimes did not throw a dime. He had more picks than more interceptions than touchdowns. And then Nick Mullins, I think I'm reading that right.
Nick Mullins, good guy. He's a good guy. He's okay.
Yeah,
he's a nice person.
Yeah, 343 yards. Be quite frankly a guy I never heard of going into this game. Threw for almost 350 yards against the New York Giants. So props to them. The Giants just battle for that number one pick. That, like you said, man, there's no hope.
Yeah, Nick Mullins. Unless you're a fan of the 49ers or a fan of a team in the NFC West, you probably don't know who Nick Mullins is, and that's fair. Nick Mullins took over for Colin Kaepernick one time back in the day against the Seahawks. Because all Seahawk fans were like, "Oh, Colin's not playing, or he got hurt at some point." And great, we get to play this backup, Nick Mullins. This is awesome. Nick Mullins almost beat us in that game, like that close to beating us. He played exceptionally well. He's a good quarterback. I know a couple of 49ers fans, at least one, who would like to see Nick Mullins play the rest of the season. Jimmy Garoppolo, as we like to call him.
Yep.
But he did show up. He had a great game. It was the Giants, so I don't know how much truth there is behind it. But still, with the amount of backups he was playing with, it's still an NFL team. Mm-hmm. And, Nick Mullins had a really good day with working with nothing.
Yeah.
I guess we have to at least bring this up. I watched this game, and
I feel bad for you.
Oh, wow.
I threw open my mouth a little bit. The Bengals and the Eagles tied at 23. We brought up a little bit earlier. I don't understand how through 100 years of football we still have ties. I don't know why you have not changed this yet. Both teams lose when there's a tie. Eagles couldn't put the Bengals away. They made the wrong decision overtime. They punted the ball on fourth down instead of going for it. And I said this in my Instagram post, my takeaways from the early games.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just see what you have in Jalen Hurts at this point. Just put an end to it. I know you have because last week I said you have a lot of money invested in Carson Wentz. You have to play him. You can't just let that money sit on the bench. To be fair, the Bears let Nick Foles sit on the bench and they put $21 million into him. So just put Carson on the bench. It's over. He sucks. This team is terrible. Let's just see what you have in Jalen Hurts. That's what I say.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. For sure, like you said, Wentz is getting paid a good bit of money to just not get any. I mean, they haven't won this year. They're basically 0-3 in my books because, like you said, the ties are fun for nobody. So he got sacked 3 times. That offensive line needs to just get skyrocketed into the sun as well, because that's your number one goal is to protect your quarterback. And Wentz gets hit about every 2 plays, it feels like. So I'm not going to put the entire blame on Carson, but that offensive line for sure needs to just get, like I said, go to the moon and get out of here. But I guess for some highlights, Miles Sanders ran for 95 yards. Good for him. I like Joe Burrow a lot. Threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. So good day for him. I just like his personality, just because I think he said in the post game, he's like, we didn't win, so I don't care. And I mean,
yeah,
I think we can all be in agreement with that. So yeah, hopefully Burrow. I feel bad for the guy, number 1 pick, but you go to the Bengals. So hooray!
It's kind of the same scenario because that offensive line sucks too. So Burrow's getting hit relentlessly as well.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, this was just the game for me. I feel bad for anyone who had to watch this, especially with the outcome.
When a game is I get intrigued by overtime games. I get drawn in. Let's see what these quarterbacks can do, especially Joe Burrow in his first overtime game. And then 10 minutes go by and it's a tie, and it's like watching soccer that ends in like a 0-0 draw after watching that for like 2 hours almost. Like, nobody wins. The fans don't win. The teams don't win because you enter this game going, oh well, they're 0-2. Let's see who gets their first win of the season. You walk away and nobody wins. So, Durf, closing remarks.
I mean, I think as much as we talk about Dan Quinn and the Falcons need to have the divorce papers signed, I think Doug Peterson and the Eagles probably need to follow suit. I mean, he should probably dust off that old resume that he gave the Eagles a couple years ago and start looking for his new employer because he's not getting it done. And he admitted he made the wrong decision in overtime. Carson Wentz got way overpaid when he got his extension, and it's not panning out for the Eagles now. They can't keep the talent around them because they spent all that money for the Super Bowl run. It's blown up in their faces now. They're basically rebuilding. And, yeah, I think Carson needs to be benched. Let's see what Jalen Hurts can do. Let's see what the future holds for the Eagles.
Yeah. My mother has no words. Yeah. Who's an Eagles fan? No words. It's very sad. Let's do some rapid fire here.
All right.
The Colts beat the Jets 36-7. I mean, the defense played amazing for the Colts, but it's the Jets. So I don't. How much credit you want to give the Colts defense when you're playing against the Jets right now? They played amazing. They're the best defense in the league. If you're playing the Jets, your defense is probably going to be the best in the league that week. It's just reality.
Yeah. Like you said, Phillip Rivers had a decent game, 217 yards and a touchdown. I don't know what to think about Sam Darnold. I personally don't think he's going to be the quarterback of the future for the Jets. He's just had bad game after bad game. And, that might have to do partially with the team he's built around. But, being the under center, you gotta do something, man. If Frank Gore is looking like your best player on the team, who's, pushing 40, I believe, then something's seriously wrong.
Yeah. And it's tough when you're probably your number one wide receiver is Barrios, some 5'6" white guy. That's also pretty tough to work with. All right. Anything to say there, Fred? I mean, it's the Colts and Jets. You're just disappointed.
Yeah.
And it's just, my God, it's the Jets and Broncos of Thursday Night Football this week. It'll be the first football game I do not watch this season. I will not watch that football game. I say that now, but I probably will. 'Cause I'm an idiot. I will waste 3 hours of my night watching that. Damn it. The Panthers were at the Chargers. Big upset, but no Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers. But Teddy Bridgewater pulls them out. Justin Herbert struggled throughout the day, but Panthers get the upset, 21-16. Pretty, kind of cool upset. But honestly, it's two teams that are just not going to have a successful season. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I said, the Falcons are going to be in the bottom of the East, and I fully expect the Panthers to be right there with them, duking it out. Really, the highlight for the Panthers getting the win, Shaq Thompson had 13 tackles, and Jeremy Chin had 12 to lead them. So good for them. They beat the Chargers, so they were able to beat up on Herbert a little bit. And Herbert had a pretty solid game, though. He threw for 330 yards as a rookie, so he's doing pretty good. And, I mean, this is just, tough loss.
Yeah. And I think it's that Panthers young defense starting to come alive, especially in the trenches. They took two young defensive linemen there early in the draft, and I think that was their plan, was just to build up that defensive line and be a bunch of nasties down there. So I really think was their plan. It worked out because I don't think that running game. I didn't watch a lot of this game, But from what I understand, Herbert had a lot of yards because he had to throw the ball.
Yeah. No doubt, man. But, so, props to the Panthers getting a win.
Definitely. I mean, I'm surprised that Herbert wasn't able to help them play a little better after playing the Chiefs last week. But, I mean, Panthers might be figuring it out now. Maybe they don't have CMC. They got to figure out something else. And, started that 7-year run for Matt Rule.
Yeah, starting it out. Strong start here. 7-year rule. Oh, that's fun. That should be a T-shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
7-year rule. That'd be a good T-shirt. We'll work on that. I still have to make the other ones. I'm so bad at that. Buccaneers beat the Broncos 28-10. Tom Brady, he's starting. I like Mike Evans' stat line for the day: 2 receptions, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's real sexy. I love that. But yeah, Chris Godwin had a good day. Mike Evans, good day. Tom Brady, good day. Buccaneers, good day. Broncos suck. They're putting in some guy I've never heard of this week as their starting quarterback. It might be a rookie that they drafted. I honestly don't know. I don't know who they're putting in at quarterback.
Jeff Driscoll?
No, it's some other guy.
Yeah, it's Brett Ripon.
Yeah, there you go.
Beats me.
I'm pretty sure they signed Blake Bortles too.
Yeah,
last week. So they got quite the crew over there.
And they're starting some guy we've never heard of. So I don't know what you want with that. They have some young, talented wide receivers that just aren't going to get a chance to do anything this season. TJ Burns. Off topic. We already went through the Bills. So, hats off to Diggs and the Blanket, which is Fred, Fantasy Football League, ending my undefeated streak. Yeah. It's hard to. Fred went over his fantasy team earlier in the show, and it's stacked.
Yeah, that's a little.
Anyone want to say something nice about the Broncos or the Buccaneers? I don't know what you're going to say nice about the Broncos, but you can try.
I'll say something nice about the Buccaneers. Congrats to Rob Gronkowski for showing up to work this week. Led the team with 6 catches. I don't know why they weren't thrown to him more in previous weeks. He's a Hall of Famer, in the future, and it's good that they finally got him the ball. Brady did what Brady always does: no interceptions and close to 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. So not too bad. As for the, let's talk about the Broncos. Justin Simmons had 8 tackles. All right, and Melvin Gordon was there.
And there is your nice news update for the Broncos. 8 tackles and Melvin Gordon showed up. The Lions beat the Cardinals. Cardinals really just blew it. Kyler Murray, 3 interceptions. It was still an okay day for Kyler. He still runs well. He just made some bad choices. And Jeff Okudah, first round pick for the Lions. He got his first interception of the season off of Kyler. But yeah, Matt Prater, game winning field goal for the Lions. Big day for them. They get their first win in what feels like a generation. Must feel good. Good day for Lions fans. Kenny Golladay caught a touchdown pass, so I'm kind of shocked. But I think a lot of people expected the Lions to be a little bit better this season than they have in the past. Matthew Stafford is healthy. They have Kenny Golladay. They have Marvin Jones. They have They have Swift now. They have talent. It's just not coming together for some reason, especially in the fourth quarter, as we've seen already this season. But yeah, good win for them. I think good win, quality win.
Yeah, like you said, the Lions have a lot of kind of untapped potential. I like to say they got a lot of young guys who really just need to kind of mesh together, maybe get some more experience under their belt. But yeah, they got 3 picks against Kyler. They got Jeff Okudah got his first one, like you said. Deron Harmon got one, and Jamie Collins also got one as well. So good for them. Tracy Walker led the team with 12 tackles as well. So another young guy that they're hoping to kind of break out in the near future. And Matt Stafford, 2 touchdowns, 270 yards, didn't throw any picks, so you can't ask for much more. I still don't know how to feel about Kyler. I don't know. It's kind of out there for me because some people are saying that he's going to be great and some people are saying he's going to be a bust. But I don't see him really being either. I see him just kind of being a starter. Just he's always going to have a job. but he's never going to be a league leader in passing or touchdowns or anything like that. He's just going to be a good quality quarterback. It might just be the young, he's young and they've got a lot of hype around him. I know he won the Rookie of the Year last year, but I don't know. There's just something there that's missing for me. I haven't figured out what it is, but maybe one day I'll look back on this and think either A, man, I was an idiot, or B, hey, maybe I had something right for once. But yeah, good.
That's
good
usually
job.
how takes go. Yeah, it's gonna be one or the other eventually.
Yeah, but yeah, good job for the Lions getting the win.
Fred,
I mean, I think just touch on the Cardinals here real quick. I mean, it's Kyler's second year. I mean, they revamped this team so much in the offseason. Their offseason for the NFL in general was a train wreck. I mean, it was bound to happen for the Cardinals to kind of have that one-off game, or they just don't have everything meshing well. I mean, hopefully they can go look at tape this week, and then their week 4 opponent, and they can just kind of figure things out and play better. The Lions don't look incredibly terrible on paper. Like they have some proven stats there on the team. They should play better, but they don't always. Even looking back to week 1, like they should have beat the Bears, but they blew a lead. And, it's kind of one of those things where the Cardinals just they weren't quite up to par what they normally are. And the Lions kind of figured it out. And this is what you get. You get that game-winning field goal to take the game.
maybe those Lions should sprout some wings and fly like a falcon. The Seahawks beat the Cowboys. That was a big game. Holy
it was
cow.
a real big game.
I had about 6 heart attacks and a stroke throughout that entire game. They went back and forth. The Seahawks had a big lead, 30-15. They end up blowing that. Cowboys get the lead, 31-30. But then Russell Wilson throwing that sexy deep ball. He's got the DK in the end zone to take the lead, 38-31. And then our no-name injured, terrible, awful defense gets another game-winning stop. 2 weeks in a row, game winner. Stuffing Cam Newton, and then the game-winning ceiling. The guy who caught the game-sealing interception just called off the practice squad 2 days earlier.
Nice.
So good story for that kid. It was just amazing. And Russell Wilson now has the NFL record for touchdown passes through 3 weeks, 14 touchdown passes through the first 3 weeks. He beat Patrick Mahomes, who had 13 through the first 3 weeks. So He's the front runner for MVP. I mean, I don't know who else you'd give it to right now if this was a 3-week season. I don't know who else you would give it to, unless you really didn't want Russell Wilson to have it. You could give it to Patrick Mahomes, maybe Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. I think those are your 3 right now. I guess if you want to throw Josh Allen in there too, I guess it's a 4-way tie. I think Russell edges him out, but
right. I agree.
I don't want to sit here and say Russell Wilson can be the MVP because he won't be.
Because we all know how that works.
We all know, because it'll end up being Josh Allen. Watch, because Josh Allen's the sexy story. Nobody wants Russell Wilson to get the MVP because he's been in the league for like 30 years. It feels like,
but he's Mr. Unlimited.
He's Mr. Unlimited. I'll never call him that. I hate that so much. That's the one thing Russell Wilson doesn't have going for him is a personality.
Yeah,
that's his one, and that might be the reason he doesn't have an MVP vote. Is because people they don't like him personality wise. That could be part of it. Yeah. But it was a great game. It was an exciting game. The Seahawks won. That's why I'm kind of happy about it. But I'm also not very happy about it after this defense lets up another 10,000 yards.
Yeah, the defense, like I said, defense does need a little bit of work, no doubt. But let me talk about the Cowboys for a second here. Dak Prescott threw the ball close to 60 times this game. And if you look at Elliott's numbers, you can see why. 14 rushes for 34 yards. He was not eating on Sunday. He did not eat. But yeah. So Dallas receiving, I like Michael Gallup. He's pretty solid. So good for him. Other than that, I'm going to throw something out there because I did not know this without looking just a little bit ago. The league leader in sacks right now, a guy that plays for Dallas that no one's heard of in probably 4 years for good reasons, Alden Smith.
Hell yeah.
Props to him, man. Coming back. Oh, yeah. Good redemption story. And Prescott's leading the league with passing yards with 1,188. Russell's in fourth with 925. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, Russell had an amazing game. 5 touchdowns, no picks, 315 yards, and very accurate. So good job for the Seahawks. They moved to 3-0 on the season.
Yeah. Fred?
Yeah. I mean, Russell Wilson is literally what I want Josh Allen to aspire to, because Russell Wilson just has that commander-in-chief on the field here. Like, literally let him make the play, like, get up to the line, see what's going on, and then, nope, I don't like that. I'm going to do what I want. Like, we're going to change it here on the line. I know what we're doing. Great. And that's like when I saw the Cowboys go up 31-30, I'm like, oh, well, Russell Wilson's got plenty of time to win this game. Like, it's going to be close, but he's got time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and, you know, I don't know. I feel like Dak's 60 passes probably inflates his stats a little bit because, 500 yards in one game, it's a lot of yards for a quarterback just for one game, and you're already at week 3. And, I mean, obviously he had to because Elliott's wasn't getting the job done. And we've seen that before last year. When Elliott doesn't get the ball moving down the field, it falls on Prescott. And when Prescott's playing against a better defense, it doesn't work out. I mean, granted, the Seahawks have a lot of injuries. You have a lot of kind of guys that are kind of no name, but it works for the defense of the Seahawks. Probably why he had 500 yards. I think if it was any other team that had more like a top 5 defense, I don't see it happening.
I just saw this from TJ. Going back, something nice about the Broncos. They had a nice Super Bowl win with John Elway.
Yep. There you go. Keeping positive, TJ.
Throwback. Yeah. Thank you, TJ. Say something else. Saying something nice about the Broncos. They deserve it. They need it. They need some TLC over there. The Packers beat the Saints 37-30. The Packers are just kind of rolling right now. Somehow, some way, Aaron Rodgers doesn't even have Devontae Adams. He's just going. And if the Saints didn't have Alvin Kamara, I mean, this game probably would have been 37-10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alvin Kamara I kind of got reeled back on by one of our good buddies of the show, Kyle Eggleston. I said Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Drew Brees career-wise because Aaron Rodgers can do it with anybody, and Drew Brees cannot. If he loses Michael Thomas, he's nothing. If Alvin Kamara wasn't in this game, he's not putting this ball in anyone's hand, especially down the field. But then he told me it's kind of the system he's in. It's just what it is. It's always been a short pass offense, and that still doesn't change my mind though.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how he wants to win games, how Drew Brees wants to win games, go for it. But honestly, what I see on the field, the eye test, I think Aaron Rodgers is just a more talented quarterback overall.
Yeah, I've always loved watching Rodgers play. He's one of the most clutch. I mean, like you said, with Drew Brees, most of those guys are very clutch. They've shown that countless times, for years and years now. But yeah, so Rodgers got the edge in this one. But like you said, Kamara had a masterful game, 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, like I said, if he wasn't in this game, then they would have been in some trouble, no doubt. But yeah, props to Aaron Rodgers though, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and Aaron Jones has also been kind of a good, sleeper pick for, I know, a bunch of fantasy teams last 2 weeks, I believe. 69 yards and a touchdown. So, good for him. Like you said, without Adams, without Devontae Adams being his, number one target, it was a little tough. People didn't know who he was going to throw to, who was going to step up. But it's nice to see that Jones has been doing pretty good for them, and hopefully he'll be with them for a while to come.
Yeah, if you take quarterbacks out of the MVP race, Aaron Jones was probably MVP last year, and he's probably leading right now. He's an amazing running back that is highly underrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brad?
I mean, this is not the same Packers we saw last year, and they went 13-3. So look out, NFC North, because the Packers are going to run you all over.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Saints, they're clearly missing Michael Thomas, and I think the NFL's figured out Drew Brees. And granted, he's in a certain system. That's how the Saints play. But for a future Hall of Fame quarterback who is leading the league in touchdowns for his career, they need to make an adjustment. Like, he can't just say, oh, no, let's just do this with Breeze. This is how we do everything. And then if we win, we win. We lose, we lose. It doesn't seem like they're adjusting well to not having their high talent on the team right now because due to injuries. I don't know. I don't feel good about the Saints now with the NFC South.
I don't remember the last time I've seen Drew Brees throw it 20-plus yards down the field, because that's your standard for deep ball is 20-plus yards. That's like what PFF and Next Gen Stats look at is 20-plus yards. I don't remember the last time he's thrown it 20-plus yards down the field. And then TJ Dak's a good quarterback. He's a lifelong Cowboys fan, as we all know. They have to either work on the O-line or feed Zeke the ball. You know, to be fair about the Seahawks game, Zeke wasn't doing anything right. He couldn't run it, and even when they threw him the ball, he was dropping it, or he did not look good on Sunday. Just to be fair with Zeke, it was not his day. Everyone has a bad day. That was Zeke's bad day.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the Chiefs embarrassed the Ravens. Let's be completely honest here. The things the Chiefs did last night to the Ravens was embarrassing. They did a little shovel pass touchdown to their fullback. They threw a big guy touchdown to one of their offensive linemen. There was one point where they did like a double reverse flea flicker for Patrick Mahomes to throw the ball down the field. They were just doing whatever they wanted. They were toying with the Ravens. If they just played a normal offense that they would have dropped 50. But instead they're like, let's have fun with it. Let's just throw some routes to our running back who's going on a wheel route. Let's throw it to the fat guy in the end zone. Like, you're just having fun. They knew the Ravens weren't going to do garbage, and Lamar Jackson didn't even top 100 passing yards, and he looked atrocious last night. Lamar Jackson was horrible last night. There's no sugarcoating this for Lamar Jackson. Even running the ball, he looked rough. He had a couple of breakout runs, and the commentators like, oh, there's Lamar Jackson. And then, as soon as he sees pressure, he's looking to run. And that is the downfall of your quarterback. If you get pressure and your head goes down, that's what makes you not a quarterback anymore. And I will say it until pretty much the end of time. Lamar Jackson is the best running back in football that takes direct snaps. So that's my take.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with you on anything there. Before I get started here, shout out to Eric Fisher and to Anthony Sherman, the fullback and the offensive tackle. Got that touchdown last night. We like to see the big boy touchdowns. And it's good to see the fullbacks are still alive. What can I say? Andy Reid was just he got bored. What can I say? He got bored, and he's like, I'm going to throw something to a wall and see if it sticks. And it did, and it embarrassed the Ravens. It really did. And to talk about Lamar, it is a little bit too early to tell, maybe, but you can maybe say he might not be clutch. He might not show up to big games. Because, this is Monday Night Football, a bigger audience than what you would normally get on a Sunday, and we saw in the playoffs he wasn't able to get it done last year. Can he perform against big teams in big moments? I'm not too sure. We've seen what Patrick Mahomes can do. We've seen, Super Bowl champion, all that. And he had a great game. 385 yards and 4 touchdowns as well. And, Mahomes is definitely looking head and shoulders above Jackson at the moment. I don't know. I think he's sponsored by Head and Shoulders, so there we go.
Throw that in there.
Throw that in there. But, Mahomes is just embarrassing Jackson at the moment. I do like Jackson's style of play, no doubt. But I don't know. He does need a little bit of polishing, though, to be a top-tier quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah. They made him look pedestrian. And the fact that he couldn't get over 97 yards is just an embarrassment for him. Like, I hope all these media analysts that are all up his that they can all realize he's not great. And, the Chiefs let him kind of get rolling, kind of come back, and then Mahomes is like, nope, we'll expand our lead some more. We'll throw a couple more touchdowns. But, the play calling with Andy Reid, I don't know if you saw his play sheet. during the game last night, but the amount of plays he has on there, it's got to be at least 250 plays. Like, he just has that much option in the game to just do whatever he wants. Like, it is what it is. I mean, and I saw a little analysis this afternoon about the Eric Fisher touchdown. The Chiefs actually did it really sneakily. They had the linemen kind of stand there shoulder to shoulder. Eric Fisher's behind them, and he just kind of looks at the ref, does the little I'm eligible symbol. The ref acknowledged it. The Chiefs had a stacked lineup to the right. He was on the left. The Ravens don't think that he's eligible. They think he's just the tackle on the left. He's actually the eligible player, and they did the right blocking for a run, and then he steps out, and boom, there you go, touchdown. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't. This is what worries me when the Ravens got the easiest schedule or easiest strength of schedule when that came out this offseason, because they're going to be regular season champions, and then it's going to happen the same thing that happened last year. They're going to lose in the playoffs because they just cannot get it done in big moments.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's I believe back-to-back years with the easiest strength of schedule. You can win as many regular season games as you want, but those losses that sneak in there, it's the Chiefs. He's 0-3 now against the Chiefs.
Yep.
Playoffs, obviously. He's 0-1 in the playoffs. I don't know if this wasn't Lamar Jackson, who is beloved by everyone because he does put up big numbers, he runs fast, he won MVP. If this was anyone else that played the Chiefs and threw for 97 yards, people would be writing him off, done for the year. Like, granted, he's going to win game against bad teams, but yeah, the clutch factor is a huge question mark. So that's all of our games. That's our entire recap. Logan, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate your presence. We always need someone else to break up the Durf and Dylan show. So if you want to give one last shout out for the 100 yards of football, I think he's frozen right now.
Yeah, I think he froze.
Oh,
here we go.
There we go.
Hey, so thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it. If you want to give the 100 yards of football one more shout out, let them all know.
So, if you guys want to watch some more of my content, be sure to go over to Facebook. Look up 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. We got a great team over there. We got our football encyclopedia, we call him, with Vincent Turner. The dude is just a walking, talking, just football. He'll spurt out anything that it makes no sense. If you want to know who won like the 1963 Rose Bowl, he'll tell you right off the cusp of his head, man. The dude is just absolutely the most knowledgeable guy I've ever met with anything football related. We also have a former NFL player, Bobby Butler, on the team, played for the Falcons in the 80s. So we have him coming on. He brings on a bunch of former players and they talk. But yeah, I usually do a bunch of like player profiles, some history specials as well, game previews. And then check us out on Apple and Spotify, where we just put up our first episode, and we'll be putting up some more to come.
Outstanding. Nice. Well, thanks again. Much appreciated. And we'll make sure everyone gets over to you. We'll post a link. We'll throw it up on our wall too.
Awesome, Matt. Love being on here.
All right. See you around.
See you guys.
All right. And that's our show. Little over, but when you have a guest on and you're talking football, there is no time limit.
There you go.
It was fun. And now we got to get ready for an NFL or a presidential debate.
Yeah.
Are you tuning in?
No.
I might tune in just to get a couple of giggles in, and then I'm probably just going to go to bed. I just have to see how bad it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The one guy can't complete a sentence. The other guy says China and amazing every single time. Every sentence includes amazing, doing a phenomenal job. It's going to be a disaster of a presidential debate. But guess what? One of them's going to win, and we're going to have to live with it. So everyone be kind to each other. Who cares? The president doesn't rule your life. Just be nice to each other. All right. Durf, give these people some wonderful, loving advice to go home with.
Protect your nuts.